politics. First up, we have the Elder Moth. It is piloted by Merwin. It has a left side flak, a left side Gatling, front Artemis, a right Artemis, and another right Artemis. And also for the Chaladon Trading Company, piloted by Captain Scrowbeard, it is the Flying Flounder. Beacon Flare Gun, Artemis, Mercury, Flamer, and Artemis.
And on the are they called on the Tryhard Pack side, we have the Gale Ion, piloted by a Stelidius Bucket. It is a galleon with 2 lumberjacks and a Hades on the left, a flare gun on the back, and a flak and howitzer on the right.
That's a carronade.
Is the... Is it? Oh, close enough. Sorry, my apologies. And we have the ESS, whatever that means, but piloted by Water It's Me. It's a goldfish with a Gatling on the left, a howitzer on the front, and a Gatling on the right.
Fantastic. Well, folks have set up with a reasonable distance from one another. We are seeing opening shots from the Gale Ion and return fire towards them. A lot of Mercury's landing, some of them into the balloon, but some of them into the hull. It's okay at the moment, but if those start getting more accurate, the Gale could find itself in trouble here. Lots and lots of fire from 3 light guns per ship here. Gale Ion armor broken, suffering. Artemis hits. Oh, they're now stage 2. They've... Oh dear. Oh my! I just realised that, like a complete noob,
is taking a lot of heavy damage.
Yes, apologies to the stream there. I left the overlay up, so you've missed a couple of seconds from the introduction there. Like a total noob. Okay, so at the moment we have Gale Ion engaging the Flounder. I apologise. I hope you haven't missed too much. We have seen some damage on the Gale Ion from the opening engagement. Flying Founder and Elder Moth are still intact, and SS. I'm going to call that the SS. No, yeah. I'm not. That has alternate connotations.
Oh, we'll call it the SMGs.
Yeah, there we go. The SMGs is engaging the Flying Flounder, and the Elder Moth is coming around behind the SMG.
Gale Ion is keeping its distance as its hull is quite severely damaged right now, and I'm not sure what happened there, but the SMGs got very close to the Elder Moth and took very minimal damage as it currently flies away.
It's very difficult to track a goldfish with a Artemis, and they've stayed focused on the Gale because Gale,
Gale has lost a lot of health and it's about to crash into a building.
That's not the best parking spot either. I think they might be in trouble here. The Mercury is still pointed at them. Chip damage will do them at this point. There's the break. One Artemis would do it. We're holding our breath here. They get it back up. Oh, that was so close. But the Flying Flounder now. Oh well, that's DPS for you, and the SMG and the Gale apparently had plenty of it, and now Elder Moth find themselves on their own, and this is not a good spot to be in because they now can't lock down that galleon's guns. They're going to lose their balloon, and then in short order they're going to lose everything else.
SMGs did some pretty decent disables to the Elder Moth, which included the balloon, 2 weapons and 1 engine.
Indeed,
yes,
I think
Gale Ion has lost 2 weapons as well.
Oh my, Elder Moth sitting on the ground. It's getting lumberjacked. They managed to find their way through there, but that's it.
And the Elder Moth is down. It looks like the Flying Flounder is now under attack. Attacking. My apologies. The Gale Ion.
Gale Ion largely intact at the moment. The Flying Flounder, I believe, is carrying a Mercury on the top, so that needs to hit the armor consistently. If they do that, I think they will kill the Gale Ion here in short order because it has very little perma hull, but it manages to duck back behind the structure. Now the SMG coming out. Oh, Eldermoth and Flying Flounder both now in. So that I think the strength that the Galleon had there was in soft cover. Eventually the spot was gone, and the Eldermoth and the Flying Flounder decided to refocus on the SMG, which gave two lumberjacks enough time to find their targets. And you never want two lumberjacks flying at you if you can possibly avoid it.
Indeed. It looks like the Flying Flounder had lost quite a bit of its balloon, but I'm still seeing quite a lot of lumberjack misses. If we just had a few more hits, that Flounder will go straight into the wreckage of this building thing. Yeah. I mean, I know the Dunes has the Leviathan, I'm not quite sure what this is.
Leviathan 2.0, because, why make one Titanic when you can make two?
That sounds
actually,
like a very good name.
Isn't the sister ship to the Titanic the Olympus or the Olympic or something like that?
I believe it was, yes.
So maybe this is the Olympic, although I suppose we'd have to find a sister to the Juggernaut. So the Flying Flounder and the Eldermoth are both sort of sitting next to one another here. I'm always tempted to avoid doing that whenever there are two lumberjacks on a galleon. In fact, whenever there's one lumberjack potentially pointing at you, because it means that lumberjack, if they get a decent lock on one of the ships, it's possible for them to get a decent lock on two. And one lumberjack on its own is enough to kill a ship. So. Oh, Eldermoth.
It looks like the SMGs is moving on the Eldermoth. It has lost virtually all its components apart from one gun and one engine, as its permahull slowly goes down.
Oh, but the SMGs have some break.
And the balloon is down again. Eldermoth is taking some serious beating from both enemies, and they're down.
So now the SMG has the Flying Flounder on their tail, but if the Flying Flounder comes forward far enough to engage the SMG, they're just going to make life, easy for the Gale Ion, which is opening up on the Flying Flounder.
They pretty much had no time to react. The speed of the SMG was far greater than the reaction times, as well as the descending time for the Mobula.
Eldermoth spawning back in close. That might be wise. The Flying Flounder probably can put themselves in hard cover from the Gale if they're careful in how they maneuver.
Okay, the Gale Ion has no visibility of the Eldermoth currently, unless they decrease in altitude slightly, which they have, and they now may become a target again. Gale Ion is now providing cover for the SMGs on the Flounder, as the SMG attempts to escape from the Eldermoth.
Yes,
Are they escaping? It looks like they're turning around to engage.
I think they're trying to find a more advantageous point to fight from, but I think it's just going to end in there.
That there is a Lochnagar Gatling gun coming from the Eldermoth, and the SMGs is one bullet away, depending on hull break.
Yeah, I think the Gatling on its own could potentially do the job here if they can just find their target. The further back the SMG goes here, the harder it's going to be for Gale Ion to get arcs. There's a lot of structure between them and the targets.
The Super Tryhard Pans are certainly keeping a distance from one another. I'm not too sure of their plan, but that Galleon is extremely far away. I mean, it's only 1k, but that's still a long distance to get some decent shots from.
Indeed, and down goes that fish. Eventually the fire from the Flying Flounder and the Eldermoth was too much, and it's now 3-1. The Flying Ion still pretty badly damaged though, so this sorry, not the Flying Ion, the Gale Ion.
Flying Ion.
There you go. Chemistry for the win, apparently. But yes, so that's unfortunate. But it should, if it keeps doing what it's doing, if it keeps staying reasonably far back and out of combat, it might manage to make it through this match. it's not going to be straightforward or trivial. But it's ducking in and out of cover when it needs to. Although that being said, it's down to 50% armor. It was down to 20% armor. If it keeps being focused without the SMG hopping in, it will eventually die just from chip damage from the Mercury, never mind anything else.
Speaking of the SMG, they have finally respawned, but they're staying low. I've got the feeling they're trying to get the Eastern Chaladons to come in closer.
Indeed. So the Gale Ion ducking back and forth behind the structure here. Oh, the armor does break, but they're now in soft cover, probably rapidly repositioning. Yes, in fact, you can see there the Gale Ion moving down. So the reason Solidus is doing that is because where they've lost the spot, they needed a couple of seconds to rebuild. Oh, but they're still sitting in arcs and they're spotted again thanks to the flare. Desperately trying to worm their way into cover.
Suspicions in match chat there. I'm not going to bring it up.
The SMGS, yes. Okay, so Gale Ion wandering back out. It's not spotted, but they know roughly where it is. They've got to avoid getting hit too frequently by that Mercury. I think this is something of a risk. What they're trying to do, I think, is get the Gale Ion to get a balloon lacquer. Oh, what's happening to the Flounder? The Flounder, I think, has backed into structure. It's turned its guns to one side. That means the Mercury's not going to be pointing at the Gale Ion.
Oh! Luisi has stopped the match.
So there's a request for teams to disengage. Oh, Flying Founder has bottomed out on the structure whilst there's a pause going on. This is a bit anarchic, but we're at the moment we're supposed to have.
I might know what this is. I think it may have been a huge mistake.
Oh my! What's that, man? Well, sure.
Let's just wait this out and see what's going to be said.
Yep, that's what it is. Of course, it's pronounced SMGs. Could have been passed on in a roundabout way.
It could have been passed on.
Yeah. But yes, of course, you're not supposed to watch the stream at the same time as playing for obvious reasons. So yes, you're also not supposed to comment. So never mind anything else. Lou is well within his rights to call out the situation there. In fact, you're not even supposed to listen to the stream either. So, Water, if you can hear us, stop hearing us. I'm afraid that's
great advice.
That's not a thing you're supposed to do. Okay. Well, in any case, we now have a pause. The teams are separated. The Flying Flounder was in a unfortunate situation there. They were backing up into structure, but the separation there has allowed them some time to back up a little bit. It also has allowed the Galleon plenty of time to rebuild that armor, so everyone gets some advantages from this break, I think.
There was a couple of fire-offs, but nothing majorly important. It'd be pretty nasty if they shot those lumberjacks and popped their balloon.
Indeed. Well, this is something of a problem for the Flounder and the Oldermoth now, is of course the lumberjacks benefit from range. Of course, the Gale is spotted while the Flying Flounder is not. The match is unpaused. Gale is ducking back behind cover for obvious reasons. They weren't facing the target. I think they wanted to immediately duck back into cover and drop the spot. They know that they're distant.
That's the first time I've ever seen of that happening.
I think we have. There was one earlier, sort of actually quite recent, one of the early '90s. I can't remember which one, where there was a situation.
They're mentioning 91 in the chat.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't identical to this. I don't remember the details. Perhaps the folks in Twitch chat can impartially remind us of what exactly happened there, without too much salt. But yes,
that
not
one
unprecedented.
is where everyone was mobular.
Okay, so Gale Ion exchanging fire with the Flying Founder. Flares going down, but the flares are more sort of lighting up the Gale Ion than they are anyone else. Not really penetrating, although there is one now sitting underneath the Flying Flounder, so the Gale Ion should be able to see them, but in return, of course, they're spotted as well. Oh, Mercury's going out, it hits the armour. Next shot goes out, it's near the engine block but doesn't actually hit it. They really want to hit those lumberjacks, because if they do get pushed down they're going to have problems. The Gale Ion lowering itself for the obvious reason. If it pulls down, the Flying Flounder might be tempted to continue engaging it with the Mercury and will be pulled down as well. And then if they don't correct for their positioning, they'll be able to pull back up again. Elder Moth closing in. Oh, this could be a problem though. The Gale Ion's sitting in the arcs of the Elder Moth.
Oh, and the Gale Ion is down. Very good teamwork by the Eastern Chaladon Company.
Indeed. That was, I think the Grim Reapers slash MLG tryhard pants on heads stuff, Bobs, are aware that their galleon was vulnerable and were not going to risk losing their goldfish to rescue it. They'd rather be 3-2 than 3-3, even if it means sacrificing that galleon. Now the biggest problem they're going to have at the moment is that the spawns here are very tight, so the SMG has got to try and get somewhat close to the spawn of the galleon, and the galleon has got to pick where they're going to spawn in such a way that they aren't immediately spotted and then gunned down by these two ships at the same time. Now the SMG is spotted, Gale Ion has spawned back in, but they're right in the thick of it.
Ooh.
If Flying Flounder and Elder Moth focus fire here, they'll have a good, probably 6 or 7 seconds of firepower directed at the Gale Ion.
There goes the Carrot and the Hatcher into the Flying Flounder, starting to lose its hull armor and balloons, so slightly. It currently also has 2 weapons disabled.
And now the Carronade going into their balloon, that's again less than ideal, but the Gale Ion has their right hand side facing here, so as far as it goes, that is a Carronade and a Watcher, and the Carronade is out of arc. They're probably going to turn to engage with the left hand side, probably on the Flying Flounder. I think they'd quite like to get that Mobula locked down, but now the SMG is high, the Flying Flounder is at the same height as the Gale Ion, and the Gatling is going out on the Gale Ion. They're going to take a lot of fire here. They need to get the Flying Flounder on the ground as quickly as possible. There's 4 minutes remaining. The SMG is currently out of it, and Gale Ion is going to take a ton of flak fire, possibly Artemis fire, unless they're above the Flying Flounder. Oh, the Elder Moth eats a Watcher. That's going to give the Gale a few seconds to get things fixed up. Elder Moth taking Gatling fire, it's returning Gatling fire to the Gale.
If the game finishes before the 4-minute timer, I believe the Tryhard Pants got the first kill, therefore the victory will go to them, and the Chaladons will have to surrender.
Indeed, although there will be I believe it's 2 minutes of additional time if there's an engagement ongoing.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Oh, Elder Moth armor break. Most of their perma hold down, regardless of getting the kill or not. That's not what they were after. They bump. That's going to cost them their balloon. They're going to fall. Fortunately, they're going to fall into the left-hand side of the galleon, which doesn't have much to offer them in terms of kills. But oh, Gale Ion bumps, loses armor, goes down. Ooh. SMG now in a difficult position. Do they try and kill the Elder Moth? Yes, they do. The ram is good. That should have done it, but no, the Elder Moth's armor is up. Junker armor
Everything
is
disabled
fantastic.
pretty much on the Elder Moth. This is a very violent match right now. As the Flounder tries to come in to help.
The Elder Moth there managing to make it through that ram miraculously. SMG is turning to engage the Flying Flounder. I think they know that if their ally spawns back in with gun arcs on the Flying Flounder, which they have, this could be really unpleasant for them. The Flying Flounder, though, is in hard cover at the moment. They'll probably want to try and get gun arcs on the Gale as soon as practical and lock down the Lumberjacks, because at this range it's possible... Oh, SMG suffers an armor break. Watch is down again on the SMG.
Both teams are making very good usage of the building here for cover, but the Flounder is under attack from both the vessels right now.
Always difficult to disable with the Hwasher on a mobula from below. You can get the bottom deck guns, but that does leave potentially the 3 top deck guns intact. Elder Moth opening up on the Gale Ion. Armor break, but the light flags go well wide, at least initially. Lumberjack is hitting the Flying Flounder as its balloon continues to take damage. Oh, its balloon's popped. This is always a bad situation for a mobula to be in. Sitting opposite a galleon with double Lumberjacks pointed at you. Hades fire coming in. The Flying Flounder could be in real trouble here. They bottom out. Armor will probably break if the Lumberjack hits again. They managed to get the balloon back up.
They managed to get the balloon up. SMG has lost its hull armor. It's managed to bring it up just a second ago, and they've lost quite a bit of permahull. Likewise with the Elder Moth. It can go either way.
Yes, that's a real tussle over there. Of course, real tussles work in favour of whoever has the first kill to some extent here, with only 30 seconds remaining and 2 minutes on the clock. But I think both teams would rather finish this in the available time rather than let the clock run down. Elder Moth eating a ton of Watcher. Flying Flounder is... Well, the balloon is reasonably intact, and they do have drogue shoot, so they have some time. Gale Ion realising that the Flying Flounder potentially is going to be able to lock down their balloon.
And the Elder Moth is down.
Oh, this is bad for the Flying Flounder, of course.
As soon as Lucy puts down the overtime, which means the Elder Flower has 2 minutes to get another kill.
I believe it's 2 kills, isn't it?
2 kills, yep. Unless the 2-minute timer runs out and they've got the higher score.
I don't think that's going to happen, though, as the SMG closes for what may be one of the slowest rams going, but they'll still take it.
That was nowhere near.
Oh, the Gale Ion is going to lose arcs shortly, but the Flying Flounder has Gatling going into the Flying... sorry, the SMG has Gatlings going into the Flying Flounder. There goes the Watcher. A couple of them going to the armor, a couple going to the balloon.
A little bit of Hydro.
Oh, but they bump. What a way to go.
That was a nice ram from below. And it's the score, is it 5-3? 5-3 to the Tryhard Pan.